Hey, we are live. I'm going to take a quick minute to check on everything. We are doing Google business profiles for real estate. And just checking everything out. Alrighty, we are live and testing right now. Hopefully somebody will come on. Let me get things rolling here. Hopefully it's in our group. Hopefully y'all can see it. It is live. Oh no. Y'all can see it. It is live. Oh no. Y'all can see it. It is live. Oh no. Y'all can see it. It is live. Oh no. See it. It is live. Jeez. All righty. As if you ever on. Give me 30 seconds here. I got the echo on my phone here. So cool. We'll just go ahead and get started, and hopefully the people show up. It is also going to be pre-recorded, so if you need to go back, look at it, etc., we'll get you going for sure. So we are talking about Google business profiles for real estate. My name is Carlos Scarpero. I am a loan officer here in the Dayton area. I've been doing loans for several years now. Before I want to get started, I want to talk a little bit about my background in the mortgage industry, how I got to where I am today, and a little bit about my background with Google as well. So I've been doing mortgages off and on for 25 years now. And I say off and on because I took a very, very, very long break. And so kind of my background is I got into it in 1997, believe it or not, the first time. I did some cash out refis, that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, I got burned out with the ethics of the industry at the time. And so I got out, and just a year later, 1998 or so. And then for the next 20 years or so, I was doing internet marketing. And so I taught this class on more the internet marketing level for several years now. And I'm delighted to be able to take this training, take a charge for it, and give it to you for totally free. But hopefully you can apply it, use it, share it, all that kind of stuff to help grow your business. Please leave comments below. I do have a little area where I can look at comments, and every so often we'll pause and look at comments. Please stop me if you have questions, because this training is for your benefit. I already know this stuff, so I want you to learn. So if you want to leave a comment below, please do, so I can see what we got here. So today we are talking about Google business profiles for real estate. So some of the things we're going to cover today is why Google business profiles are important, the basics of a Google business profile. We're also going to talk about basic local SEO. One of the really unknown things with Google business profiles that I learned fairly recently is about doing Google posts. Google actually has a system where you can create posts. He also talks about reputation management. But before we do that, I want to tell you a little story. So, and we'll go back to me for a minute here. Why are Google business profiles important? Why is Google Maps important? Well, think about this. I was the other day, I need to get someone to work in my yard. We need to get the tree fixed, and we need someone to cut a tree, I should say. And I was looking at it, and I didn't know anyone that could cut down the tree at my house. And so what did I do? I did like what most people do, and I went on Facebook, asked, hey, who do you know that cuts down trees? Because I don't know anyone. I've not had to hire someone before. And of course, I get 10 responses all over the area. So some might be their cousin. I don't really know. I wasn't sure who was trustworthy. And so what I did was I went on Google and I took every single name, looked them up, figured out who was close to me and had a good reputation, who seemed to have a good price, and called them up and hired someone. Same thing happened with my dentist, by the way. So a few months later, I needed a new dentist. And I looked and called, because my old dentist changed her insurance company, or she stopped using my insurance, is what I should say. And so I went to my insurance and said, okay, who is in my area that can help us? And sure enough, they gave us a list of 10 or 15 names. And what did I do? I didn't call the first one. I went on Google, figured out, okay, who is near me? But more importantly, I said, who has a good reputation? Who has good reviews? And sure enough, some had bad reviews and some didn't have any reviews. And the one that I picked had 25 or 30 reviews. They had a lot of reviews. And so that's why Google business things are important, because guess what? They're looking for you. The question is, what are they going to find? And that's vitally important in real estate or really any business. And so I've been doing this a while, so I have like 40 something reviews, which I'll show you in a bit. And it's been very helpful for my business, and we can go through that as well. And so I'll be showing you how to do that. Oh, interesting. You can't comment. Something said. Okay. Well, interesting. Yeah, I think you're supposed to opt into StreamYard, I think. I'm not sure. Interesting. I was able to comment directly on Facebook. That's weird. I'm not sure. PM me. How about that? If you're trying to comment and you have a question, just PM me. Most of y'all are friends with me anyway on Facebook. PM me if you have a question. I've got my messenger on my computer, and we'll figure it out. We'll definitely make this happen. So anyway, so Google Business Profiles. Let's go hop into it. And sorry, I'm pretty new with this program, so I'm kind of playing with it as we go along. So bear with me. So we've already talked about that, about why, the basics, basic local SEO, and all that sort of thing. And now we're going to move on to the next section. So they're in Google, she can't comment because of her Facebook status. Sorry, Melinda, I can't help you on that one. I guess you can text me, but yeah, text me. So that's true, because my texting actually goes to my computer. So you can text me and I'll still see it. So, or get on another account, I guess. Melinda, for those of you who don't know, she got blocked on Google because she said or blocked on Facebook. She said bad things, apparently. She's a mean person, I guess. I don't know. She's sweet. I don't know what she did. I know she'll come back on there soon for sure. Anyway, why Google? So it used to be called a 7-pack, where it would, when you type in something. So for example, if you type in VA loan officer, Dayton, Ohio, my name's 95% of the time either 1 or 2 on that list, because I optimize my page. And it'll have what's called a 3-pack. So it'll have me and typically 2 other loan officers. And but it used to be a 7-pack. So they're chopping it down to a lower amount of people. And so as you can see, they get a lot more requests. I can't read this. I have to pop it open. According to Google Business, with an optimized Google My Business profile and positive reviews, keywords being positive, receive 82% more requests and 65% more clicks. Plus, Google only showcases the top 3, like I mentioned. So yeah, it's very, very important. And we'll go through that in a bit on how to do that. So it's now better than ever. They used to call Google My Business. Now it's called Google Business Profile. We're going to go through a little bit about how to actually set that up. And you can actually have multiple locations. So for those of you that are brokerages, or maybe some of these EXP teams that have people under you and stuff, you can actually put multiple locations on there as well. So that's kind of cool. And so it's kind of really tweaking that and making things more interesting with just the way Google does things together, and it integrates that. We'll get to that in a minute as well. And sometime later in 2022, well, it's 2023 now. So at some point, they're going to retire Google My Business. It's going to be all called the new name, but it's all kind of the same thing. They just renamed it, rebranded it, but it's still the same software. And then you can do call history, you can do messaging, you can do read receipts. I haven't really played with any of this stuff, but I know it's out there. Honestly, the most important thing is, 1, have a listing out there, and 2, get reviews, and 3, if you get reviews, respond to them both positively and negatively. And certainly, if anyone leaves you a bad review, then certainly respond to that as well. So why Google My Business Profile? Well, if you're looking for a home and you go out there, you decide to look at homes, what's the first thing you're going to do? 99.9% of the time, you're going to check Google. Google dominates the buyer's journey. I certainly have found that I will be checking Google no matter what I'm doing. No matter what you're doing, you will be checking Google to find out things. Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's things to do, or just anything, you are going to be checking Google to figure out if you want to engage with that business. And guess what? Your clients are as well, because they want to know if you were legit and you're someone they want to work with. And so we'll talk a bit about how to optimize that profile. So let's continue. So we're going to talk about how to optimize your listing and how to rank higher with basic local SEO. And so what basic local SEO is, Dayton, Ohio Realtor, Cincinnati, Ohio Realtor, Columbus, Ohio Realtor, but also think of those suburbs as well, Centerville, Ohio Realtor, those types of things. And so that's what basic local SEO means, trying to rank for those keywords / your business type. So right now, currently 46% of all Google searches are local. Pretty darn cool. And local SEO, so is the process of optimizing your online presence to attract more business from relevant local searches, keyword being relevant, because not everybody's your ideal client. So if you understand your ideal client, your marketing, and actually you're able to optimize that, then that'll help as well. It's extremely important for local real estate agents because it's a space that Zillow and Realtor.com can't compete in. They're great nationally, but they can't really compete locally. You are the expert in the local area, which is really cool. And so here's the most important part. Your business is probably already on Google. I'll try to go back to me. There we go. Your business is probably already on Google. You just haven't made a listing yet. This is a crazy thing that Google will find you. And sometimes I don't always like what they're finding. That's actually happened to me once. I had built this website, this directory years ago, and it had some random address on it. I remember it was like a massage therapist directory or something. And it had some random address on it that was like not even related to me. I've never had a single thing there. And then they claimed my business was there and I had to like scrape it off. It was a pain. So luckily, because I have a lot of other listings, I was able to kind of push that out. So definitely, if your business is on Google and it's not showing what you're supposed to show, maybe old company, old phone number. So not only you want to make sure it shows the good information, but also make sure it gets rid of the bad information. We can talk about that as well. Anybody have any questions, by the way? I just feel like I'm talking this whole time. Ask a question. Let's chat here. Other people can answer questions representing your business. Make sure you get there first. They're going to comment, leave reviews. Definitely want to be there first. People can leave reviews, some potential reviews. Check there first. People will use Google as a reference. If your info is wrong, they won't try again. How many times has that ever happened to you? You ever look at something online, look for something, maybe you called a restaurant, nobody picked up the phone. Oh, I can me for a minute here so I can talk. Maybe you called a restaurant and nobody picked up the phone. And then did you like research it and figure out, or did you just say, oh, well, and just move on? 95+% of the time, you just said, oh, well, and you just moved on. It's so easy if you're just flipping through your phone and going, oh, I can't figure it out. I'll just call someone else. And you're just saying, well, I guess they're not in business anymore. Oh, well, you don't keep trying. Typically, most people don't keep trying. I mean, you might if it's somebody you really, really want to talk to. But if there's a business that you haven't really engaged yet, oftentimes you're going to move on. At least that's what I do personally. So moving on here. Claiming your business listing is essential for local SEO. There are numerous search engines optimized, but Google has a massive market share, currently about 87%. So pretty high market share. Excuse me, I'll go drink of water while we talk here. And again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I will be checking. I actually have on my software, it'll pop up if you leave a comment. So Google Business Profile offers other features that help with SEO, posts being one of them. And it's the difference between your business and everyone else. And so consider that 38% have searched at least once per month for a local business. 38% of people are put off if there's no map or address displayed, and 52% saying a physical address is the most important piece of information. So think about that. And how many times has that happened to you, by the way? Have you looked for a local business and there was no information displayed, and you said, I guess they're not serious about being online. I call it being invisible. I'm researching someone and I can't find anything about them, positive or negative. Oh, they're not serious about their business. And honestly, I think no information is almost as bad or worse than bad information, honestly. So, moving on. So it's easy to get started. So let's do it. So let's talk about the basics of a Google Business Profile. You go in there, you search for your business name in Google search and see if it's already been claimed and verified. You're in Google, you have something called the Google Business Profile Knowledge Panel. So this is kind of what it looks like for me if I'm logged in. It's got my name, my reviews, all that kind of stuff. And then if you're logged in, like I am, from a screenshot, I can edit my profile, read my reviews, have any messages, I can do that. Add photo, definitely you should. Add a Q&A section. That's a new thing. I need to add that. I believe that's a newer thing. The booking thing's kind of cool. So you can actually sync that with your Calendly if you have a Calendly account, or I think there's other software that does it as well. But you can sync that up, which is kind of cool on that knowledge profile. What address should you add? You should use a real physical office if you have one, or go get one. You can use your home office, your home address, but it's kind of back and forth. I'll rephrase, from a compliance standpoint with Google, they don't care if you use your home address, but I guess it's more of a comfort level for you if you want people knowing your home address. Some people do, some people don't. Because you'll end up with a picture of your house on your Google listing, and there is a slight risk somebody might show up at your doorstep. Although I've never had anything happen personally, but there is that risk. Or just get an office. Office space is cheap. I think I paid $250 a month or something for the office I used to have, and then when the lease expired, I left the listing there. I canceled the office, kept the listing there. So that's one way to do it, I guess. Maybe not the best way, but that's the way I did it. And I don't see any questions on my end. I'm going to double check my Facebook, make sure you guys aren't asking questions and commenting, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, looks like so there are no questions, but yeah, please ask me a question. Let's roll with this. And as you add one or more business partners or work from home, list the home address of the person closest to the primary area that your business serves. And the reason being for that is that Google My Business is very focused on location. And so you want the business that's closest to the location that you want to serve as the area. And it's interesting, like if you look at, so my business, because the business address I have is in Centerville, if you do Centerville, Ohio VA loans, I'm typically very, very high on Google My Business because that's the office location. But then if you type in Miamisburg, I'm probably 2 or 3. Type in Spring Grove, I'm probably 4 or 5. Type in Franklin or Middletown, I'm probably 7 or 8 or 9. I get further and further away, even though it's this very same profile, because it is so concentrated on the location. So that's something to consider as well. Moving on. Google recommends you not use a virtual office because it is against Google My Business profiles. Use your home address instead. So heads up there. So here is the typical way to claim and use your listing. Type your business name in Google, look for a knowledge panel. And so you look on the left side of the page right there. I'll take my picture off. You can see it'll have some info. So obviously since mine's filled out, it's got more info on it. But if you get that, if you look in your business name and it's not claimed, there'll be a button that says own this business, claim this listing. You click a button and then it'll go to the prompt. Assuming your phone number is the same as what they think your phone number is, it'll be pretty simple because you can text message, or if the address is the same, then you can send a postcard to yourself and verify it that way. And so that's definitely the easiest way to do it. And if a knowledge panel doesn't exist, you can go google.com/business and sign up that way. Go through the prompt. It'll be pretty simple. Put what is the name of your business and put example realty. Shane Reddy, a lot of you in Dayton know him. He was former president of our board of realtors. He had mentioned that, and so I need to mention this from a compliance standpoint because I did not know this. We'll go back to me for a minute. And so Shane was at my live event last week, and so what he told me was that you have to have your name or your team name and the company name on that listing for compliance purposes with the Board of Realtors, at least in Dayton. I don't know. Don't ask me how the laws work, because that's not my area of expertise by any means. Google doesn't really care how you list it, but from what James told me, you have to put company name / your name, or your name. So like the order doesn't matter, but you need to have the company name and your name in the title to meet Board of Realtors compliance. And that's an Ohio thing. For those of you that are out of state, I have no idea. So that's what Seamus told me about Ohio specifically. So heads up on that, because that is important. But anyway, you go through the prompts. You'll enter the business name, city, state, province. Don't add keywords in the title. They do consider that spamming. That was one of the tricks people used to use when Google My Business first came out, that they would add all kind of crazy spam tricks, especially locksmiths were the worst. There was like this locksmith spamming scheme a while back, and got kind of crazy. Also search for previous business names, phone numbers, and addresses, because like I said, Google will find you. They will add all kinds of crazy stuff in there. Look for the category that meets your business best. Real estate agent will be that category. Do you want to add a location for a store or office? So you'll need to enter an address, but you don't have to show the address in the listing. So if you are working from home and you want to show up in Google, but you don't want them coming to your house, what you could do is put no here. And what will happen is you'll have a listing and it'll just say Dayton, Ohio area. Since I know Ohio area, it won't show an actual address of your office. And so that's a good middle ground if you want to get the benefits of Google My Business, but you don't necessarily want people knowing where you live for privacy concerns. And completely understandable. Add your services, as many as possible: real estate, foreclosures, REOs, all that kind of stuff. Good place to put there. And then save it. And then what happens, you have to go back into there and claim the business. Enter the exact name. Extra or keywords are against Google terms of service. In other words, your business name on your business licensing, your branding, whatever, needs to match exactly what's on Google. Don't get sneaky here. Like I said, that's something that people did in the past, and they're cracking down on it. You don't want to get in trouble with Google and get them mad at you. Then what you do is you need to verify your listing. So what's going to happen is typically they send a postcard, is the way I've always done it. Sometimes they will text you or give you a phone call, and you'll have to claim it. What's going to happen is we'll get a code, and you just enter. Have you ever done, like, you logged into a website and they text you and you have to enter a code on some site? It's kind of like that. Like, it's like, go to this website, enter this code to confirm that you are the business that they say. So some ways to confirm, like I mentioned, phone or text, email. Apparently, since COVID, they've added a video recording, live video call option. Honestly, I've never done it, but it's out there for you. Verification may take longer because of COVID. Instant verification has gotten more and more rare, so keep that in mind. It might take you up to a week to get verified. But it's pretty simple. Once you get the postcard, so if you're doing a postcard option, for example, what will happen is you'll get instructions to log back in. You'll get a website. There'll be a blue button like it shows on this little screenshot right here, and I'll zoom in. So it'll say verify, and then you'll enter a passcode that looks like that. Just like, nowadays people verify so much stuff that it's. Have you ever verified your Netflix or whatever? Same thing. Make sure to fill out every section of your listing. That's very important. It's very important for SEO and your success, for sure. Searching components of your listing. See what you can see from the search results. Contact information for sure, hours for sure. Definitely want to post on Google. Stay engaged with your customers, and share your photos. Make your business stand out. Also, you can share videos as well. If you have a YouTube channel, good place to put there as well. You can see how many views the listing gets. Honestly, I never read it, but you can. And users can upload photos as well. And for sure, make sure you take the most important actions to complete and enhance your business listing, because that makes it stand out. And one of the little tricks I've done lately, which you can do, is if you get a review, maybe that's not on Google, go into Canva, make a really beautiful profile. Have you ever seen people on Facebook, they'll post Carlos was the best loan officer ever, 5 stars, and they'll have a picture and, they'll put a little thing and then they'll make a graphic out of it and then post it onto Facebook to all their friends. Everybody's seen these. What you can do is take those graphics and post those into Google if you don't have a direct review on your Google listing. That's something you can do as well. You need to have your legal business name on there. It appears on your website, your signage. Avoid stuffing keywords, again, because it's a violation. Choose the fewest, most relevant number of categories to describe your overall core business. You don't necessarily include every product or service you offer, but if there is something you're really, really proud of or something special, like for me, VA is kind of my thing. Everybody knows it's my thing. So I will emphasize VA as well. Little trick here, by the way, side note. If you can get your customers to, when they review your business, to add in a keyword or two. I was a first-time home buyer and Carlos helped me. I got a VA loan and Carlos helped me, like that kind of thing. It will actually help your rankings. Like I rank very, very high for VA because I'm trying to market really well for VA. But what's interesting is that because of that, people will comment, Carlos helped me with my VA loan. And so VA and military and that type of things are mentioned very often on my Google profile. And it's helped my ranking significantly for sure. Make a listing for each individual business name and location, service area and hours, be accurate. Service hours, COVID has led to a little more flexibility on that from what I've heard. So if you're doing multiple listings, so you have multiple locations, you need to have a separate phone number for each listing, but it's pretty easy to get forwarding numbers nowadays. I've got one Twilio and those kind of sites, and you can get a second phone number. You want to pause and get a drink of water here. Questions, comments, and concerns. Everybody's super quiet. I guess everybody's just soaking in the knowledge here. But please feel free to comment. I'm talking to myself over here. Multiple businesses can make Google My Business pages from the same address, but they must be separate services with the same names, phone numbers, and websites. And it's really interesting. Like that actually happened to me. So I used to rent space for Shane Reddy. A lot of you here in Dayton know him. And so he actually has this office building, and there's 6 or 7 different businesses in that building. He has these little suites in that building, completely all different businesses. We all have Google profiles on that address. And what's funny is I think that most of us have moved out of that building and they still have a profile there, and then half the businesses that are actually there don't have a profile. So just kind of weird the way that works. But yeah, you can certainly make multiple businesses. So, maybe you have your real estate business. You also maybe have an investment business. Maybe there's a mortgage company, title company, insurance agent, all that in your same building. You can put multiple profiles up there. As long as you're not spamming, as long as you're not trying to be like, don't create 15 different AKAs to try to game the system by any stretch. But if you have a real estate office, a mortgage company, title company, all in the same building that are renting space legally, then certainly you can make separate profiles for sure. It is okay to do that for sure. Okay. Include the entire URL. And so if you go to the website, to your website on the top left corner, I'll have to do a screen share, but top left corner, there's usually will be either like a little lock symbol, which will be HTTPS, which is a secured website, or HTTP. Be sure to just check those links, because oftentimes you don't have the HTTP:// If you don't do it exactly right, the link will break. So certainly submit that. And then always, whenever you're doing any sort of marketing online, check that link. Make sure that it is in there exactly, for sure. And also you can do analytics tracking. So that is, analytics tracking is, Google has a program called Google Analytics. Another program called ClickUI, I like a little better. You can add those codes to help see your traffic, see where people's coming from, people are searching for. A little more advanced strategy, but certainly something to think about as well. URLs, you can send users directly to a page where they can book an appointment. Avoid reusing your homepage. And so this is, if you have Calendly or any of these kind of Calendly is obviously the biggest one right now. You can send people to a Calendly page to book an appointment. It looks like a few more of you came on. Like I'd mentioned, the people who have already been on. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave a comment below. I can read the comments. I'm just sitting here talking, going through the class here. And for services, create separate sections for the different services you offer. This is a great place to use keywords and you can put things like free Wi-Fi, accessibility, outdoor seating. And now they also, you can also add, as a minority-owned business or woman-owned business, they actually have sections for that as well. It's a little checkbox you can put in if you want to highlight that. Photos, make sure to use good photos, hire a professional photographer, make a good impression with your visitors. You can put photos of your business location, interior, exterior, products, team, and more. So definitely add those as well. You can add a cover photo. It's a large photo featuring the top of your brand. It will be cropped to a 16:9 aspect ratio. I don't know the exact dimensions. I need to look that up, honestly. I'm not sure what the exact dimensions, but the more you can make it towards the exact dimension, that's good. In Canva and Photoshop and all those different software programs, they certainly have ways to add cover photos easily. Add photos and videos to your Google Business Profile Knowledge panel. They will appear when nearby people search for your business. Adding photos of yourself and business and location always a good idea. If you have any sort of professional photos, that's fine. And sometimes the silly, Christmas photos that people like. Make yourself look real and authentic. That's good as well. Businesses with photos get 42% more requests for driving directions. It's interesting. And 35% more click-throughs. Certainly don't want to publish photos without permission. But we had a whole discussion about this at the live one we did last week. And so kind of the thing right now is we're doing these live once a month, and then depending on demand, we'll also be streaming. And so we did this a week ago, for those of you who don't know, at Springboard Chamber. So we're doing these monthly. And we had a whole discussion about this section specifically about photos and permission. We'll go back to me for a minute. And so kind of what we determined, and again, I'm not a lawyer, but what we determined is if someone goes to close and they allow you to shoot a photo of them and you say, can I put it online? Then you don't really need permission again to put it on Google. They kind of know that that it's okay to also post it on Google. But if you go to the closing, they're like, well, don't take my photo. Don't talk about me. And there's some people that privacy that's super important. Then certainly you got to respect that. And that's understandable as well. So use your discretion on that. I think it's okay just to get a general, general permission. If you want to be super legal about it, I guess you always get written permission. I've never done it, but I guess you could. And certainly something to talk to your board and your broker about. I guess, there's legal ramifications on that as well. Moving on. Let's go back to this one so we can read it. All right, here we go. Also consider using videos. Videos become an ever-increasing way to tell stories, sell products and personalities online. Consider how to sell your own personality, or perhaps interior photos of properties. You're listing stuff. You're probably getting a lot of videos. You get a lot of photos. Maybe get some drone footage. You can put that on Google if you want. Obviously, once you sell the house, then there might be some ramifications on that, and whether you can keep that there. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but something to consider as well. When we talk about Google Posts and that's another good place to put. I have a new listing at 123 Main Street, like that kind of thing. That's perfectly a great spot to put that kind of stuff. Virtual tours. Google offers the opportunity for a virtual tour. It can draw traffic with a 360-degree experience if you have the right camera. I've never done it, but I think that, as a realtor, I see the potential there, especially in a really nice listing. So definitely something to consider. Might be something worth hiring out, honestly, because it's, probably be a little higher end and you want to make sure it looks good. Always ask for reviews. Always ask for reviews. I'm going to say it again. Always, always, always ask for reviews. We'll put it back on me for a minute because this is important. Always ask for reviews. I guess like we showed a minute ago, I have 42 plus reviews. And so some of the ways to get reviews, when you meet with your borrower or your buyer, right before closing, when you get that clear to close, the day or two before closing, that's a great time to get that review, especially if the process has gone well and everybody's happy. One of my coaches call this the magic window, the time between clear to close and when the closing happens. It's kind of a magic window that everybody's excited, everybody's ready to roll. A good time to ask for a review. They're in a really good mood. Day of closing can be good, especially if you're going to the closing. Oftentimes, probably one of the best times I've seen to get reviews is at the closing table. When I used to attend closings before COVID, I would attend closings in person. And when you're sitting there at the table and they're bored, and, they sign the documents and the title guy is, copying everything. You've got that 15 minutes of downtime where you're making conversation, trying to figure out what you want to say. Perfect time to ask for a review because they're sitting there bored, waiting to get their keys. You're just making idle conversation. Hey, Mr. Borrower, I hope you enjoyed the job I did. Can you leave me a quick review? Very, very rare they're going to leave a bad review at that point. They're feeling excited. They'll leave a good review. But say they don't. Say whatever you can't make the closing. Here's the other part of the process that I've done personally is send them an email the day after closing. Congratulations on the purchase of your house. Hey, by the way, can you leave me a review? Wait 3 days. Send them a quick text. Hey, by the way, I sent you an email a couple days ago asking for a review. Would you mind sharing that? It's really important to me. That kind of thing. I know some people will add gift cards, that kind of stuff. I've never gotten into the gift card thing. I don't think it's necessary. Google really discourages it. If you do the gift card thing, don't advertise it for sure because it actually can be against terms of service. And honestly, I don't think you need to do the gift card thing. And so the gift card thing is, maybe send them a $5 Starbucks card saying, hey, leave a review, that type of thing. That's pretty common. I'm not a fan of it. And honestly, I don't think it's necessary, really. All right, ask for reviews, positive, negative. Definitely reply to any reviews. And so you can see on mine, what will happen is they'll leave a review. Because I already left a comment, I can just edit and delete. But if there's not a comment, there'd be a little link that says reply. Always reply to everything. If it's good, just say thank you so much. It's a good way to add keywords as well. So like I said, because I do so much VA stuff, I might add thank you for your service. It was my pleasure helping you with your VA loan, that type of thing. Again, we're adding keywords. I love working with first-time buyers like you. You're the best. Stuff like that. Occasionally, you might get a bad review. That's life. Sometimes people don't like you. We can't like everybody. Luckily, I'm pretty good. I got a 5-star review myself. But what if you do get a bad review? It happens. That's life. Always reply to it. That's what I'm going to say. Always, always, always reply to it. Never. Oh Lord, everyone's like, call me once here while talking. Because on reviews, you want to make sure that people are replying, and because nothing worse than ignoring it. I think ignoring the review is almost as bad as or worse than getting a bad review, because people will assume the other person's side of the story. Oh my God, they must have something to hide. They didn't respond to this review. You can share your side of the story, and you can't give private information. You don't want to give private information, call them out, but you certainly do want to defend yourself as well, if that makes sense. I'll get a sip of water again. If you have any questions, please ask me a question. I guess getting so much knowledge, we don't have to ask anything today, and that's fine too. All righty, moving on. Posts. So Google has a section called Google Posts, which a lot of people don't know about. So you should make a post at least once a week if possible. And these are like mini sites that can show up in Google search results. Make sure they are good content because they will last forever. Stay consistent. This is a great place to put tips, ideas, stories, successes, brag, that type of stuff. The things that people would search for, because it helps your profile boost up. And that's the whole point. If you have a Google profile and nobody sees it, nobody searches for it, not nearly as good as if you have one people find. But stay consistent with that. Google does. Do I pay to advertise with Google? Yes. So that is called Google Google AdWords. My God, my brain is fried today. Google AdWords is the name of that program. It's a whole different topic, more than this webinar would cover. But yes, I have paid to advertise with Google. My thing with that is you have to definitely have a good website, and make sure that you have something worth going to, and you have kind of a good follow-up process. I will tell you, working online leads is very, very different than working referrals. If you ever worked online leads, they will typically shop you around a lot more. Oftentimes won't have the best credit, at least on the mortgage side. Oftentimes not really ready to buy a house. It's very different. And you have to understand it's a long sales cycle and be willing to put some money into it to make it work. And if you've never done it before, oftentimes it's probably worth hiring that out. Because if you do it and don't do it well, you could spend a lot of money and burn yourself out trying to figure this stuff out for sure. And then people are just better at it. Again, on Google, don't skip any sections. You can leave any section blank. Someone else can fill it in by suggesting an edit, including your competitors. You don't want to do that. So make sure everything's filled out for sure. So how to add your location to Google Maps. Here's an alternate way. Go to maps.google.com, put in your location, and then there will be a section at the bottom of this arrow. Basically, you right click and it's going to say add your business. And it's going to pop up an address and it'll show that you can claim it, or you can do the simple route we just went through to claim it. So that's kind of an alternate way to do it. I've never done it that way, but you can. So let's talk about basic local SEO. Before you start, you need to understand the foundations of SEO. So you can send that to a website that converts, because traffic is only one piece. If you don't have good conversion, if you don't have text on there that converts, that's not helpful either. So you need a good website. And by having a good website, first of all, you need your own website. Yeah, I know your broker gives you a website. I know it's free. I get that. Or paid for, prepaid, I should say, not really free, but prepaid with your dues. But you need your site that you control. There's so many more benefits. You can tweak things. You can get those analytics in there. You can see where the traffic's coming from. You can add a blog. You can all kinds of things like that. And that's a whole different topic. But you need your own website. It's really inexpensive these days. No real excuse not to have one. You need accurate information. It's always helpful. Definitely needs to be optimized for mobile viewers, because let's face it, everybody's on their cell phones these days. I know web traffic, like every year I read it. 1 year is 40%, then it's 50. I think it's 75, 80% of traffic now is mobile. It's pretty high. Optimize your homepage for your primary location for sure. And then as you see what's going on, find your top performing keywords, or more importantly, what keywords you want to rank for. Not necessarily top performing, but what do you want to be known for, and try to find that as well. Excuse me. Take care of your SEO foundations, or any other social marketing is meaningless, really. I mean, if you're going to pay to advertise on Google, like I said before, you need a good website that converts, have a good marketing message, all that kind of stuff. So understand the snack pack is what Google is called. And they used to call it the 7-pack. Now it's called a snack pack. So like I said, ideal placement is the top 3. But if you look real closely, I know the screenshot is kind of small, but look real closely, there's a little link that says more places. So you can rank and then be under that. You want to be in the top 3, because basically you want to rank for real estate near me, first-time home buyer near me, foreclosures near me, all that kind of stuff. Or for me, I'm trying to rank for loan officer terms, VA loans near me, that kind of thing. But like I said a minute ago, that it also, yes, it looks at keywords, yes, it looks at reviews, but it also, a big part of it, because it's local SEO, it's also looking at distance from the office. So, make sure that your office is near wherever you want to market. And maybe if your office is far away from where you want to market, maybe get a second location over there for Google to try to rank. Office space isn't that much to get a second address somewhere that you could do for that. So here's your goal, though, to get into ideal placement. There's an old joke in SEO, what's the best place to hide somewhere? And the answer is on page 3 of Google, because nobody reads past page 1. It's the old SEO joke from 10 years ago, and it still applies today. And so you want to be in that snack pack. And so, like I said, like for me, if you type in Dayton, Ohio VA loans, Dayton, Ohio VA loan officer, Centerville, Ohio VA loans, I tend to rank pretty high. But then the further I get out into these weird little suburban areas, I'm lower and lower and lower. And it's not that I'm any worse. It's just that because there are other people that are closer, they rank higher. The Google Snack Pack is a boxed area that appears on the first results page. When a local search engine result is on Google, displays the top 3 local businesses relevant to the search. 33% of clicks go to the Snack Pack, as opposed to 40% going to regular organic results. Claiming is important to your Google and your SEO. Google stats that 76% of people will search for something nearby on their smartphone visit a related business, and 28% of those result in a purchase. I'm sure all of us can think of examples where we've done that personally. I certainly have. 66% of smartphone users will contact a business directly using the click to call option. And I'm sure you've ever, and so this is where, I mean, this is the new phone book. Think about this. How many of us have a printed phone book? I don't have a printed phone book. Do you? I mean, Yellow Pages pretty much going bankrupt. They send the phone books to us every year, and we throw them all out, right? What do we do? At least what do I do? Is now go back to me for a minute to emphasize this. I will take out my phone. Probably you are as well. Type in a business name, and what do? You hit the call button, and so that's what that's talking about in that. And so make sure it has an accurate phone number. It says what 66% was said a minute ago, but I think actually that's probably higher. I'm surprised it's that low, honestly, because at least for me, this phone is my phone book, and I'm sure it is for you as well. And what are you also doing? Instead of having a call, you look for the hours. You know, what time's Meyer Pharmacy closed? I don't know. Is it 7 or 8? I don't remember. What time's Costco closed? Let me go look it up. Same thing. I'm sure you do that as well. And so those options, one click away from the snack pack. If your business is one of the top 3 spots, you're much more likely to engage and click because people will find you. Surprise, surprise. If they find you, they'll probably click on it. And always optimize for mobile because, again, we're talking about smartphones a minute ago that people are using their cell phones to find you. 61% of mobile searches are more likely to contact a business at a mobile-friendly website. And here's a little site you can use to check your site. Definitely get it mobile-friendly. I mean, I've been teaching this stuff for 10 years now about mobile sites. I used to sell mobile sites several years ago. And it just blows my mind how many people still haven't done it in this day and age. But it's true. So sometimes doing the basics is all you need to get ahead, honestly, in business. Add your business other local directories. It's not just Google. And so there are something called citations, where what Google looks at is the Google profile, and they also look at the profiles of all the other businesses in the area. I'm sorry, all the other websites, I'm trying to say. I believe that's on the next screen, actually. Here we go. So other directories: Yellow Pages, Yelp, Local, Alignable, Bing, Superpages, MapQuest, many, many more. If you want to get into this, you can hire someone overseas to submit all that stuff for you. It's called citations. So if you do a quick Google search, say, and find a citation service, it's definitely worth looking into. Super cheap. You're talking $75-$80 to get 100, 200 citations. Because what Google does is they want verification. You know, I'll think of it like credit, you know, that you want enough credit that people know who you are. You know, sometimes having no credit is as bad as having bad credit because they can't verify you. Same thing with Google, honestly. So you do want to make sure it's consistent on all these websites when you get citations. But the more citations you have, the more consistent you are. It does boost up your listing because Google takes it more seriously. And these are called NAP, is what it's called, name, address, phone. You want to make it consistent, you know, especially here in Dayton. We can't decide what city we live in. Do I live in Miami Township? Do I live in Central? Do I live in West Carrollton? I don't know. I'm just here. You know, make sure it's consistent. Whatever address you decide, make sure it's consistent. You know, Cherry Point Way, not WY. Spell out drive or don't spell out drive. Suite C or don't put the suite in there. You know, whatever you do, make it consistent. Like however you title your business, make it consistent across all the directories. It's so much better. And then again, add those citations. Like I said, it's definitely worth outsourcing. But consistency is key. Keep it all in a spreadsheet, copy and paste for all your Google listings. Know your keywords. Know what will convert and what you want to rank for. Again, it's what do you want to rank for? And so that's where it comes back to a marketing. What is your target market? Yeah, I'm in a few coaching groups, and it's always, who are you trying to target? You know, we can do a lot of different things. What do you want to be known for? And so optimize your profile for those target markets. Some ideas: real estate near me, realtor near me, home sale in my city, real estate agents near your city, best realtor in your city, your business name, phone number. Definitely some things you want to look for. A few ideas right there. Think of the words and phrases your clients might use and get a keywords list on Google. Google, and this is a old SEO trick. It still works. It's called Google Autocomplete. And for those of you who don't know, and so I'll get a sip of water here for a second. Google has something called autocomplete. So if you type in a phrase, real estate A, it'll pop up real estate in a bunch of different words. Real estate B, a bunch of different words. Real estate C, pop up different words. And kind of the idea is you're trying to, and Google actually does this from actual keyword research. of what people are searching for. And so if you do that autocomplete trick, you're actually trying to rank for things that people are actually searching for, because that's what you want to rank for. That because if nobody's searching for that keyword, you won't get any traffic. What a crazy thought there. And remember that searchers on Google are often near their point of purchase. People go on to Google when they're really, really close to buying. And so you're not really competing with Google in the organic search results. You're more likely competing with other agents in your community. And I know Google has there's also a paid thing on Google. I don't remember the name of it. But if you type in realtors near me, there will be like a recommended realtor thing on the top. I know there is a way to pay. I know we're talking about paid advertising on Google. There is a way in Google AdWords you can actually pay to be at the top of that. So it's certainly something to look into. I don't, unfortunately, the loan officer side, they don't have that feature. I wish they did. But yeah, look that up. So we're typing in realtors near me, realtors in my area, and you'll see it'll have a little link from Google. It says recommended realtor, and it'll give you 2 or 3 names. And of course, there's always people that actually pay money to advertise. And so you can actually be in that as well. I believe this in Google AdWords, you can set that up. Because I'm not a realtor, I've never done it. If they offer that for loan officers, I would totally do it for sure. Google SEO is the base of Google My Business. Google Posts, we talked about that a minute ago. These are little mini posts. Obviously you're on Facebook, and it's just like doing a Facebook post, but it's on Google. And so you can connect with your potential and existing customers on Google Search, Google Maps, using posts. You also create and share announcements, offers, new or popular items in stock, event details directly with your customers. It gives you extra exposure in search results, help it rank higher, excellent for SEO, especially if it's a competitive market. You want to stand out with things that others aren't doing. But it does take some maintenance, and they do go after. Looks like it used to be they go away after 7 days, but they stay there now. Post with a phone number may be rejected, so good thing to know as well. Select the proper post type, and it looks like you can put photos or videos on the post. And I believe you could at one time put a YouTube video in there as well. I haven't played with it in a while. I know they changed that recently. So, and certainly if you have COVID things or COVID adjustments, put that in as well. You can put products that really apply to us, offers, advertising open house for sure. Anything related to your business, put it in there as post. Photo, video, titles, etc. Try to publish posts related to current events your audience might be up to date on. Maybe you're doing a party for your business or whatever you're doing. Put that in there. You are only allowed 1,500 characters to make it count. You can link to other websites. So what I do oftentimes, I'll create a blog post on my website, create a Google post. It's kind of like a mini version, and say for the rest of the article, click here, and that way my website's I'm getting the juice from Google Posts and also from my website. Now, if you don't have your own website, which a lot of people don't, the other option is going on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has a blog function. You can create a longer post in LinkedIn and then use the Google Post feature to cross post. So what you would do is create a longer post on LinkedIn, and then on Google Posts, you would say, put that 1,500 characters or maybe 700 characters and say, for the rest of this article, click here. And that way you're kind of guiding them through your system and now you're getting 2 links. You get a link from LinkedIn starting in Google search results and a link in your own website or Google Posts, I'm trying to say. Content published in the service should not mislead your customers, should be upfront and honest about the information presented. Check your spelling and grammar. Don't link to sites irrelevant. Seems like common sense, but I'd put that in there anyway. You need to be on your page, be interactive, post on a regular basis, and again, respond to comments. Post once a week, once per day is ideal. You can repost your post on Facebook. If you're already posting stuff on Facebook, you can repost it there. That's fine as well. And like any sort of social media, the more you post, more people will visit, more traffic you get. I mean, it really applies to anything, right? Put a call to action. You can put view more, learn more, call, visit, etc. on there as well. What not to post? Nothing inappropriate, nothing offensive, nothing misleading, no ranting, no duplicating your posts. What it says here. No phone stuffing for sure. Instead of putting your phone number, you can put a call now button, which, I mean, that's the same thing, gets you a phone call, right? Reputation management, we talked about this a minute ago. One of the biggest benefits, you want to answer questions people have, respond to those reviews. If they're prompted to leave a review, make sure you respond to everything. It should be the first point of contact. So read reviews, respond, and respond to both of them, positive and negative. And they do use reviews in ranking, and so it's good to have good, consistent reviews. And so focus on getting reviews from your customers. And like I said, you can also go into Canva and turn those reviews into graphics and post those on Facebook. And so like a lot of times what I've done is I go to Google, I ask for a review, then I'll go into Canva or Snappa is the one I use a lot, create a nice little graphic, and then repost that onto Facebook, Twitter, etc. So ask reviews. Again, go in there, and that's pretty much how they do it. They go in there, click rate a review, they click on it, go directly to review page. And in your profile has a share this profile button. That's typically what I use when I ask for reviews for that. They can message you through that. And so you can activate that and engage with prospects. But overall, stay on top of your reputation management for sure. So now let's get local. So here's how you can connect with me, linktree.com/cscarpero. If you have your phone, you can scan that QR code. And a lot of you are probably watching your phone, you can't scan the code. But if you're on your computer and have a phone handy, you can take that, scan that code. And that links to all my websites. Scarpero.com is my main website, but that Linktree has, oh my God, how many websites do I have? All my social media, all that kind of stuff, has all the different places you can connect with me, the Twitter, the Pinterest, the TikTok, the YouTube, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We got a couple minutes. If anybody has a question, feel free to ask below. But thank you for your time today. I do want to be your lender partner. I want to commit to help you build your business. I know we went pretty quick because I have a lot of info to share. If you have any questions, please book some time with me. Let's talk. Let me help you. Let's grow together. So we'll pause for a minute. I guess we have no questions. So thanks again for being on this webinar. It is going to stay there in that Facebook group. So thanks again for your support. Let's talk later. Bye.